Real talk, man. Real talk is what we do right here on this most popular podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mr. Rudy Hill, also known as Rude Boy. And you know what? I get to do this each and every week with my homeboys, man. And this is one of the cool things about what we do right here at Throwdown Theater and at Cruising the Barrio and at all of these wonderful things that we have our hands in. We get to do it together with our homies and our brothers. And you know what? I get to do it each and every week with a true legend, a fucking legend. That's right. I get to sit next to him each and every week. And you know what? He is a legend because you go back and you look at the videos that he's produced. Go back and take a look at the interviews that he scored. Let's not mention the most popular Pantera video of all time. Of course, I'm talking about the one and only Bobby Roxxx, man. Bobby, what up, man?
Hey, thank you. Wow, that's so funny what you said. How are you guys doing out there?
I'm feeling good, bro. I'm feeling good. I'm going to feel even better right here. And then, of course, man, we've got the one and only, the legend again, man. These are cats that I get to hang out with are fucking legends. And it takes one to know one. And, of course, I'm talking about the great A.T. Huck in the building. What's up?
What's happening, Rude Boy? What's happening, Bobby? It's always good to be back here on the show. As always, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to have such a great time tonight. I can feel it. So much is going on in the world. So much is going on in the media. So much is going on in politics. And, it's no doubt, man, we're going to get into some things we don't really want to talk about. But that's what it's all about. This is real talk.
And if we stay on the air, we can stay away from this heat. It's hot out today.
Hot as a mammoth tapper, man. It's in the 90s, right?
Hey, and you know what?
Upper 80s, 90s?
Yes. We'll talk about anything. Just don't fuck up my high because I'm enjoying this. Anyways, we're cruising right here on Real Talk. And you know what? What's the coolest thing is when we get people to say hello and share and all that cool stuff like my homeboy Isham did. Thank you so much for the share out there, man. That was very cool. Also, most certainly got a shout out. Listen, okay, we had a radio show for the longest called Cruising the Barrio. For those of you who don't know, you need to know because it was legendary and continues to be legendary. And one of our listeners, her name was Anya Garcia.
Anya.
And she, oh yeah, you ain't never lied, man. Anya's fine as hell. And she's out there in California. But more than that, she's a true lady. And let me tell you something. She often shared and told people about Cruising the Barrio. So anyways, long story short, she talked to her cousin, Lisa, and told her about Real Talk. And so Lisa left a little message saying, first off, you guys are great, man, very funny, and long-time Juggalette.
Okay.
And she said, she enjoyed everybody's festivals that we would put together. But she was dumbfounded that I didn't choose Insane Clown Posse. And she, nevertheless, I stand by the five groups that I did choose.
Yep, when we were picking.
Right.
Yep.
That's no knock on Insane Clown Posse. Of course not. They're my fucking brothers. I love them. Anyways, she wants to know, because we've all been a part of it at this studio, what was your favorite memory and your worst favorite memory of the gathering of the Juggalos that you have been to in all of those years. And I got to tell you something, Lisa, man. First off, thank you for being an awesome listener. Thank you. And thank you for leaving this cool message. But anyways, you know, that is such a damn hard question because I've had so many incredible, great memories. I know one that for me will, let me tell you something. I was asked to be a part of this. Does somebody else want to go first, though?
Well, you're not sure if you want to go yet? Or?
I'll tell you my least favorite.
I could go.
I wouldn't call it a worst memory. And it actually was a good memory, but it's just something I didn't prefer to happen. And I was there assisting DJ Carlito with the open mic competition, and he was DJing all the music. I think it was open mic. It was some sort of, event, and he was taking care of the DJ, the sound, making sure these guys have everything they need.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I would watch things while he went to the bathroom, which right there I thought was real strange because I've been working with him for years.
Yes.
And he never goes to the bathroom when he's working.
Indeed.
And he didn't come back.
Yes.
I'm there. So I'm playing a couple songs, and now I'm starting to really
get worried?
Yeah, I'm worried. At the same time, I'm also mentally trying to take over his job and make sure everything
I know
they
exactly
need.
what you're talking about.
And he, he had, common problem, kidney stone, right?
He had kidney stones,
Yeah.
and so we went to the medics, and he was slumped over, and I'm like, listen, man, my son needs an ambulance. And they're like, well, let's check his. I was like, fuck, let's check his. My son needs an ambulance. And they're like, okay. They were trying to avoid having ambulances coming and going at the gathering. I get it. I understand. But my boy, nothing mattered at that moment. I didn't give a shit. And let me tell you something, man. Those kidney stones are motherfuckers, man. I sat in the hospital with him for over 4 hours, rubbing his back. Wow. For real talk, because he was in tears. It hurt so bad. And of course, they're not giving out drugs for painkillers that weekend, especially at the gathering, at the hospital. And anyways, long story short, they gave him they gave him a little bit of pain medication, and then they gave him something to pass this thing. And
oh my God!
I cannot believe that overnight he was good to go, man. The next day we rocked, and that was really cool of you stepping up like you did because we were booked to do stuff.
Exactly.
And I was like, man, I can't leave my son.
So it was a good but bad memory, So it was cool because I was more than capable of taking over the position. That wasn't the problem. It was just doing it at the same time as wondering what the hell happened to my friend because, he left, and then I think you went to check on him, and then nobody ever came back, So it was just, and then I had to get all the equipment back to where it goes, but all is well, and
let me tell you something. I have a very few bad memories of the gatherings, and one of them was in Peoria, Illinois, when we were inside, and the police were just being over the top, shooting rubber bullets and that type of shit. Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad thing. And, it was that the worst thing that I don't know, really, to be honest, because let me just say my favorite memory, and I can honestly say this was one of the greatest moments in the history of Rudy Hill's life. And this is the true story. I was asked this afternoon at the gathering if I would be a part of something that was going to be very special. Now, let me do this first. And let me say this to y'all out there listening. When I was asked to do this, I knew it was something fucking special that would never happen again. And it saddens me to know that it never happened again. And it was, I was asked, hey, Rudy, would you drive the Impala out on stage for the Wizard of the Ghetto fucking all-star Twisted, ABK,
Twisted?
fucking ICP. I mean, let me tell you something in there. If in full characters from this awesome solo project from Violent J. And I knew it. Right now the hairs are standing on my arms because I knew I was a part of something very fucking special. And I can tell you, man, real talk. There's been times where I thought of that, man, and it really brought a tear to my eye.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, again, man, we were so young and so dumb and so, you know, I mean, you're talking about, you know, at least 20 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least.
And you know what's crazy is it's a really ambitious idea to do this storytelling record with Wizard of Oz type theme, but it was over. If you talk to any of the fans, that the concert you talk about and the album itself was just over with all of them.
Indeed. And, you know, I mean, and I was a part of some really cool stuff, you know, the Shangri-La gathering in Oklahoma. And, you know, I mean, to hear that being played in its entirety, man, what a great album that was, you know. So I have a lot of really great memories like that. But one of the greatest memories is announcing Morris Day in the time so that Huck could come out and announce Morris Day in the time. And that was
Hey, and Rudy, you just
really
took
cool.
one of my, probably one of my favorite memories was that night, being able to introduce Morris Day in the time. But right before that, I was in the car sleeping when you were out on stage. I was supposed to be out there at that time, but I was so messed up that I fell asleep in my car, and Carlito was looking for me. So he finally came to the car and saw me in there asleep. So I got dressed real quick, got up there, and then they were delayed. So
Right.
that's why me and Carlito were able to go back and reintroduce him.
And let me tell you
Because
something.
it was like 20 minutes or so in between when I did it and you did it.
Right. And I remember going back out to the crowd because this was a moment I had to see from the Juggalos' perspective.
Right.
Because me and Joe Bruce went to fucking bat for Morris Day in the
You
time to
did.
be at the gathering. Because everyone in our crew was like, man, this is going to be a waste of money. They're going to get booed. They're going to get shit thrown at them. I was like, that's where you guys are all fucking wrong because Morris Day is a motherfucking legend. Just like George Clinton, just like Ice Cube. I mean, you want to talk about the legends
Everybody
that's been
knows
to the
who
gathering?
Morris Day in the time is.
And you know what?
Yeah, I would have disagreed with that too.
We went to bat, and I was so proud to sit in the crowd with Nyla Rose, with Heidi Katrina, and, you know, then all of a sudden here comes Huck, and here comes Carlito, and it was a magical moment watching that show.
Hell yeah. I had on my Morris Day jacket. You know, and
sure
earlier in
did.
the night, people thought I was Morris Day. It was funny. You asked Carlito about it. We were having a good time. Yeah, but to be on the stage with Morris Day, you know, Jelly Bean was still alive.
Yeah, he was.
You know, Jerome.
Yes.
Jerome was there.
And Jerome was there.
Yes.
And Jelly Bean happens to be related to Big Hoodoo.
Oh, that's right.
And Big Hoodoo was like, man, I want to introduce you to my cousin Jelly Bean. And I was like, man, thank you. You know, it was a big deal to me, man.
Yeah.
I love Morris Day and the Time.
Right.
It's a part of my history.
Right.
You know, a part of our history.
Exactly.
And speaking of history, Mr. A.T. Huck, you sent me a rather odd but hopeful
I sent
video.
you something?
Yes, you did. And it's going to be produced by Mr. R.J. Watkins Jr.
Ah, that's right. I did.
They're
I
bringing
forgot about
back
that. The
the
new
new
dance
dance
show,
show.
2.0 or 2.2, something like that they call it. The new dance show. That's right. And I just happened to click on it, and I was like, wait a minute, this is new. And they were in their party, and I was like, I got to see this.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
need
automatically I sent it to you.
you know what? I seen it and I was like, oh my God, they're bringing it back. And as they should.
Yeah,
as they should.
that would be great.
Detroit needs something like that. And what that was, Bobby, I know you're a bit.
I know what it was, though.
Oh, okay, you
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Okay, so it was a dance show. Hence the new dance show.
Right, which originated from The Scene,
Yes.
which was the original dance show here in Detroit.
In Detroit.
And it
which
morphed into the new dance show.
It was our Soul Train. It was
For
our
sure.
very own
For
Soul
sure.
Train.
I'd say, there were other dance shows around the country.
Yes.
But I think The Scene and the new dance show here in Detroit were more popular than those.
They were.
Because you never see anybody sharing very little of because they had one in Atlanta.
Yes.
That came on television. But I think historically the Scene was a groundbreaker.
It was
Because it was on the first black
owned
network, but channel
yes.
station, in the country.
And that was big.
That was a huge deal.
That was big.
And the
WGPR.
local dancers got to be celebrities in the city.
Yes, it's true.
Everybody knew who they were.
Yes.
And it was cool. You see, and mostly it was high school students that were on there.
Right.
So you would see somebody from your school or from another school, and they were your age. And they were just regular kids off the street. Not like on Soul Train. Those were like professional dancers.
Right.
On The Scene, they were just kids from school.
Exactly.
Not professional dancers like on Soul Train.
Well,
so
they weren't getting really good payday.
No, they weren't.
They got
on
a
Soul
bucket
Train.
of
They
chicken.
got some chicken.
They got chicken.
But just like with The Scene.
But they became
The Scene
celebrities.
did that for free too.
It's true.
Just to be on there. And I regret at the time that it was on that I didn't go on
You know,
there.
one of my classmates was on there a few times. His name was Armando Cuevas.
Okay.
And, oh, man, I had such a crush on his sister, man, Mary.
Yeah.
I actually took Mary out on a date once.
Okay.
Now, this is 1988. I'm 18 years old, blah, blah, blah. And so I have the nerve to ask Mary Cuevas out. And she's like, oh, of course, Rudy, let's go. Where do you want to go? And I took her to see The Fine Young Cannibals at the Fox Theater. And I got the dopest seats we could get and blah, blah, blah. It was nice.
Did she drive you crazy?
Bro, she drove me crazy, and I can't help myself. But let me say this. To this very day, I'm still friends with Mary Cuevas. And her brother, Armando, would be on the scene.
On The Scene.
And he was like at high school, like a big celebrity at Southwestern High School. Damn, there goes Armando. Hey, man.
Have you seen him on any of the YouTube clips? I would know who he is.
I have seen him twice. Yes, and he was a break dancer.
Okay,
he had white gloves on. He was
White
a Puerto
gloves.
Rican kid. He always had, looking sharp, man.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about because I watched it so much, and I still watch it.
I know you do.
I still watch it weekly.
Yes.
And but man, we really got sidetracked on that one.
But
The Scene,
It's okay.
it was great, man.
Let me ask you this. I mean, it's an obvious question because I know your answers, but if you notice, that local TV just, like wrestling and the dance shows, they don't produce their own stuff anymore.
No,
Isn't that sad?
It is.
I really missed that.
It bums me out. You know, me and my girl, the other night, we're sitting around and we're watching television together. And I'm explaining to her about this guy that to this day in Chicago, which I love, it's locally produced. And the guy's name is Svengoolie.
Yeah.
And he shows these old B-rated movies, but with some comedy in between it. And it's like the old Sir Graves Gas.
I'd never heard about it until that day when Carlito was Svengoolie for Halloween.
Yes.
I was like, I was thinking who did I think he was? I can't remember now, but I didn't have any idea who he was.
But it's still locally produced in Chicago. Not a big budget at all. Now, I dare you, each and every one of you listeners out there, to go check out the Svengoolie dance. Okay, it's a video. And it was produced by Freddie Boom Boom Cannon, who had a hit back in the 1960s called Palisade Park.
Okay.
And way down at Palisade Park, Bobby took that years later and used that as their campaign. But it was Bobby Park.
Okay.
Anyways, and this is just some trivia nonsense. I don't know why I know, but I know it. Anyways, and I know why I know it because I'm sharing it with you. Anyways, so he produced this song for Svengoolie, and he got all of these celebrities to appear in this video. And these celebrities, look, Lou Ferrigno.
Mm-hmm. This is the celebrity dance. That's
Yes.
what it's called. Okay.
No, it's the Svengoolie dance.
Svengoolie dance.
Man,
All right.
everybody's calling at the same time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Pause, please. So yeah, the Svengoolie dance. Anyways, and not only was, like I said, Lou Ferrigno and Freddie Boom Boom Cannon and Eric Estrada,
Chips.
Yes, Mr. James E. Cornette.
Okay.
Jim Cornette. So I popped for that automatically. And it's real cool, fun video. I don't want to spoil all the surprises. The soup Nazis in it, and it's local. You could tell it's locally produced. And I invite people to check out those, you could check it out online and stuff. And it's also on a network called Me TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't got Me TV, but if you got it, check it out. It's on Saturday nights, because I'll tell you what, if I had Me TV, I'd be watching the shit out of Svengoolie, that's for sure.
So what does he do on his show?
He's like the ghoul. Remember,
does he show movies?
He shows movies,
and then in between the commercials or whatever.
Like all of a sudden the audio will drop and he'll be, they'll make like a fart noise or something, or like, is people really sitting through this?
Yeah,
talking like
right,
that
right.
and stuff, Or they're like, oh my God, this is the good part. This is the good part, And then you get sucked into it.
Yeah.
And in between, he tells facts about the movie, and
those were really big back in the day in Detroit.
Yes,
we had Sir
Graves.
Ghastly and the Ghoul.
Yes,
and a few other ones I can't think of.
We had
Soupy Sales was even one.
We had a super racist one, and his name, he was played by a radio DJ here named Jim Harper, which Jim Harper in the morning was awesome.
Right.
And
I remember.
Yes, he was great. But he played this racist character called Charlie Rum. And it was Charlie Rum's martial arts theater.
I don't remember that.
and if you look him up, and remember when we were with Nyla, she looked him up.
That's right.
When we were having breakfast, she was I gotta see this Charlie Rum guy.
That's
Rudy.
right.
And she was like, oh my God, look at him. And he had drawn on eyes, Asian eyes. And he had this ridiculous mustache and Fu Manchu, and everything was the hard R.
Right.
Everything was the hard R.
Right.
And when we were kids, we laughed at this shit. We were like, this is funny.
I don't remember that.
But he would come on
it.
right after Saturday Night Live.
Uh-huh.
So it'd be like 1 a.m. in the morning. But, were we supposed to be up? I don't know. It was Saturday. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares?
And but again,
the Ghoul used to come on late.
The Ghoul would come on late. You're right about that. Sir Graves would be in the afternoon. And then if you remember Scream Theater?
I do.
That scared the shit out of me in the beginning, man. I was like, I gotta go to bed, man.
Right.
I can't do that.
They had good shows back in the day, man. Indeed. When you had just the 3 or 4 stations.
Yes.
Growing up, we had Channel 9 here in Detroit.
We did.
Which was from Windsor.
Ontario,
but they had
Canada.
Such great children's shows. Mr. Dress Up, the
Friendly
Giant,
Yes.
Captain Kangaroo.
Yes.
All of those shows came on there. And then they had a few other ones I can't remember the name of, but those are great days as a kid, man. Mr. Dress Up.
Mr. Dress Up, man. Of course,
Bozo.
Those were the days of
but the scariest one ever, Milky the Clown.
Shit,
Milky the Clown.
Remember Nyla had to look him
That's
up.
right.
Too.
We told her about him too. Yeah, the scariest clown ever.
Oh my goodness, you have never
just pasty white, no color. He looked more like something from a Stephen King movie or something.
Man, some scary
something
shit,
like that.
Right, and this was for a kids' afternoon program.
Right. But Oopsie was the cool clown. He was cool. Oopsie
was cool. Yes. Oopsie the clown would always come to our neighborhood for the. We used to have a 4th of July parade on Verner, and it would start at Patton Park, and it would only go to maybe Livernois.
Yeah.
And it was really small, but a lot of dignitaries, including fucking Oopsie the Clown, was in that parade several times.
Right.
And then we'd always get Dave Rosema from the Detroit Tigers. He always hung out in Southwest Detroit getting drunk,
Yeah.
Good dude, man. I love Dave Rosema.
Right. But Milky, he was like the mascot for Twin Pines Milk.
Yes.
Back when the milk truck would deliver milk to your houses, they had the little green trucks, and you could see the pine cone on it, Twin Pines, but he was their mascot.
He would be on that fucking cart.
He'd be on the cart looking scary as fuck.
Yeah, man.
So look up Milky the Clown Detroit. You'll get a kick out of how he looks. You'll see what we're talking about.
You most certainly will. Hey, but you know what? That reminds me, man. What was... when you were coming up, and I don't mean, I'm not saying that it has to be a classic kids thing, but what were one of those programs that you most certainly looked forward to where you had to see it, besides the scene, Huck? Besides the scene. What were one of those programs, or if you had to pick 3 that you had to see, come hell or high water, it was your shit, you had to see it. What was it?
Say when I was a kid or a teenager. What are you talking about? Give me a little reference.
Whatever is your favorite memory.
Jeez.
It could be any age.
Man, that's so hard, man, because I watched so much television growing up as a kid.
Right.
Me and my father, we didn't do a whole lot together as far as playing sports and stuff like that or hanging out. At one point we did, but the time I spent was with him watching television.
Right.
So I got to see so much, and my memory is so vast because I watched so much television, like the news and things that a kid wouldn't normally watch. Lawrence Welk, which I hated Lawrence Welk. And you know why? It came on the same time as wrestling.
Yes.
And my father wanted to watch Lawrence Welk, which was like a big band type dude.
Yeah.
But he would fall asleep.
Dude,
so wrestling
would fall asleep.
Yeah, he'd fall asleep.
Shit.
So I didn't want to watch it, and it came on the same time as big time wrestling. on a Thursday night, 10 o'clock, something like that. So it was just one click over because we had to still turn the dial on our televisions. We didn't have remote controls and all of that.
You were the remote control.
I was the remote control.
And go turn that.
Yeah, he called me from upstairs to come change the channel. All the way, and you know how big my house is.
I know.
So he called me all the way downstairs. Alan, change that channel. Put that on channel 2. Up until I was in my teens, and I finally said, Dad, you called me all the way from upstairs to change the channel. You know. But then, you know, I thought about it, getting a little sidetracked.
Yes.
Was he doing that for me to change the channel or for me to come down?
Right.
And sit with it.
Right.
So I did think about that later.
Right.
You know, I'm thinking
maybe
he's
that was his way of.
Yeah, because I'd stopped, you know, sitting there. I had my own TV at that point.
Right.
You know, so I didn't really think. Instead of saying, hey, Alan, come watch. Hey, come on down.
You want to check this out with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, it's crazy, man. Like, man, I couldn't get Santana to sit down and watch a movie with me to save his life right now. I swear to God. I'm like, damn, man, tell that girl, hey, man, my father's still here. You know that.
He's with a girl. I'm like that, too, though. But me and Brandon, the only time we really watch anything together is when it's a new Marvel release.
Okay.
You know, like Daredevil, Born Again was awesome. I keep saying that. We watched every episode together. And we started watching the recent episodes of Spider-Man Noir.
Okay.
You know, with Nicolas Cage is Peter Parker.
Okay.
You know, traditionally who's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it's set back in the 20s maybe.
Oh, okay.
It's a totally different take on what Spider-Man is. So we've been watching that together.
Let me say this as far as like coming up where I really just had to.
But
watch.
I didn't get to it. Go ahead. I'll think of one.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Mine, it was like life changing when I watched it, and it was from the 1990s, and you know, it spun off all of these amazing comedians, and of course, I'm talking about the groundbreaking, and we talked about these guys recently here on the show. I'm talking about In Living Color, man. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. The thing about In Living Color that I love so much was here was
the Fly Girls.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Oh, good Lord. I still dream of Jennifer Lopez.
Jenny from the block.
Jenny, she was definitely Jenny from the block. And congratulations to her, man. And, you know, her kid's 18 years old, man. You know, come on, man. She has twins. And congratulations on, you know.
Can't deny her.
Mamahood. And she's still making movies.
Yeah,
you know,
I love Jennifer Lopez.
Me too. I have a lot of respect for her, even when she played Selena. Which a lot of people disagreed with because she was Puerto Rican descent. And let me tell you something, she fucking nailed it. She should have got a nod for that. And everyone said that was beginner's luck. The next thing you know, she hit home run after home run after home run. There's no denying Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, sidetracked once again. Once again, but yes, you know, and the Wayans brothers and Jim Carrey, man.
Some stars came out of that show for sure.
Man, sure. You can't deny it. Now, what about you, Bobby? Was there that one thing or several things that you were just
I watched a lot of TV. I don't remember anything like. I mean, things meant the world to me at different ages, you know. So when I was younger, you know. But I'll tell you one mind-blowing thing is Transformers. When I was younger, I watched it, right?
Yeah.
And there was like 10 years, the world just like forgot about it. And I felt like it just lived in my head. And then it became like the most popular thing ever again. And I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Like, felt like I was the only one that remembered it for 10 years.
Go ahead.
No, and you know what? Transformers, man. I enjoyed the animated version and the live versions, man. Like I really did. I thought they did a great job. And one of the cool things was me and Carlito and his mother. We happened to be driving down on Lafayette and Trumbull. And there used to be this little area where they'd have it, it was blocked off. And there was the Transformers, and Shia LaBeouf was up on the. And I'm wow. Check that out, because that's when they were filming them downtown. You could see movies being filmed like nothing. I remember Carlito and we were on the People Mover, and we're going through, and everything's in Russian because it was a movie called Red Dawn that they filmed.
I remember
here.
Red Dawn.
And man, and we used to be Hollywood here in Detroit.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what? If you're done,
yes, I am.
Mine isn't a particular show.
Okay.
But it's a genre, and I hate that word for some reason. I was so into cartoons.
Okay.
Growing up, man, I had to watch Yogi Bear.
Really?
I had to watch Augie Doggy, Wally Gator, the Flintstones, Bullwinkle. The list goes on and on, man. The Wacky Racers.
Yes.
And then they came out, the superhero cartoons, man. I just had to watch them.
Super Friends.
Spider-Man, before the Super Friends, Spider-Man.
Okay.
With the famous song.
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. And then the Marvel had their 4 days a week, they had a different superhero that came on television. Captain America had his show. Iron Man had his cartoon. The Hulk, the Submariner, and the Mighty Thor. Man. And their songs were so iconic from those shows.
Uh-huh.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield. But those songs from those cartoons. So I think cartoons as a whole shaped me, man. I learned to do voices, and all of that just from watching cartoons, and all of them, are iconic characters.
Yes,
they're iconic. I mean, the Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny. I was so into that.
Right.
Woody Woodpecker.
Right.
Secret Squirrel. Top Cat.
Dude.
Just legendary cartoons, man. Bullwinkle and Rocky.
Man, it's funny, too, because I watched Bullwinkle maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Just, I happened to see it on TV, so I watched it, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of adult humor
A lot of adult humor with it, man.
Crazy,
yeah.
Man. Good memories, awesome memories. What about, check this out. Let me say this. Another great memory as a kid that I had to, because it only lasted 1 week. 1 week on Channel 7 at 4 p.m.
Still in another one.
Godzilla Week.
Hell yes,
yeah. Man,
that was mine too, man.
I had to boogie home.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Monster Zero.
Oh, my
Ghidorah.
Oh,
Rodan.
Gamera.
Yeah, Gamera was in a separate universe,
right.
though. Gamera was the turtle, the big turtle.
Right, remember?
Yeah,
Godzuki.
Godzuki.
You just jogged my memory of Three Stooges marathon.
There you go, another one.
Oh
I was hooked on the Three Stooges.
I couldn't change the channel every time they would do one of those. They would play like multiple movies in a row.
Listen, when I was a kid, maybe 13, 14 years old, on Channel 50, they would have comedy classics at midnight. And it'd be a half hour of either, and it would suck when it was Laurel and Hardy. But, man,
you didn't like Laurel and Hardy?
Man, compared to Three Stooges.
Yeah, it was nothing the same.
And that's why I would compare it, because when it'd be Laurel and Hardy night, it'd be like, I'm going to bed, you know. But Three Stooges, man, and it would also be a double bonus if it was Curly night and not Shemp.
Oh, I know.
Even though I love Shemp.
I love Shemp.
Me too, but I love me some Curly more than I did Shemp. And let me tell you something, the Three Stooges, man, those dudes, it's sad, man, that they died as broke as they did.
Yeah,
and,
man,
they
really were iconic. You know, their image right now is valuable. You know, so why were they, penniless?
Exactly.
You know, when their image was sold. Still today, I'm sure.
There's a lot of practices now today that are put into place because of the bad things that have happened to celebrities in the past.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's certain royalties and things that they get, like that are set up in standard contracts.
Right.
Because they never were back then.
Back
Because
then,
they were,
right.
you know,
Because
so.
residuals didn't last for shit.
But I'm sure
You
it's
know?
it's still probably pretty easy to lose all your money and go belly up now.
Absolutely.
But back then it was even easier.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But anyways, another memory, and I'm gonna close mine out with this, is let me tell you something. I can see the swirl right now as the music plays, and it's swirling and it's a claymation, and all of the sudden, Ultraman, Ultraman, here he comes from the sky.
Right.
Bro, Ultraman and Johnny Sokko's flying robot, dude.
Ultraman was great, man. What I remember when they started showing him, because they were old.
Yes.
Even when I was watching, they weren't new. And everybody had to do the karate, the Ultraman. How he would do his arms. Yeah, then he'd get big.
Yeah. and remember his light will flash.
Right,
man.
once he's running out of power, so he had to get to the sun.
Yeah.
To get recharged.
Indeed.
I got one last cartoon because I could go on forever.
Go for it.
And this one, might sound funny to some of you, but I loved Kimba the White Lion. Did you ever watch Kimba?
I never watched
Kimba.
To me,
Kimba.
See, man,
The
Kimba,
White Lion, not the White Lion. What's the Disney with Simba and
Lion King.
The Lion King was a direct rip from Kimba.
Really?
Direct rip from Kimba.
No way. See, I never really paid attention to it. I never did. I always thought it was for girls.
No, Kimba was awesome, man.
I was like,
My final one might open up a can because I know you guys probably remember it, but it's definitely sketch comedy before In Living Color. It's not before Saturday Night Live, but it's for kids, and I had to watch it. I had to. You can't do that on television,
man.
Oh.
I was always, like, if it came on, I was zoned in.
Bro, let me tell you something. Some of the coolest fucking characters were on that show, man, And it was a low-budget television program. And then, like Alanis Morissette got her start there. And it's crazy to go back on YouTube and see her on there because I'm like, oh, my God, that is her, But I had to crush on Moose.
Yeah,
I loved Moose, man. I was like, Moose.
The crazy thing is that show was...
They try to hide her breast, I'm like, oh.
That show would never be shown today.
No.
The jokes on it were just so edgy.
I don't think I ever watched it.
Wow.
I knew of it, but I don't think I ever watched it.
You got to scour YouTube for it.
It's
worth checking out.
It most certainly is. And make sure that you get your Sloppy Joes extra sloppy.
Yeah, from Barf Burger.
Yes, indeed. And those shows, they spun off, the Keenan and Cal's and,
They were on it?
Well, no, but it shows that kids could do sketch
comedy. Okay, I got you. All these other shows, iCarly and Miley Cyrus.
And let's not deny Kenan Thompson, man. He's an icon.
Oh man, he's
Saturday
been on there
Live.
forever. The longest running.
And on top of that, he's been a part of some really good movies that made money.
Fat Albert. He was perfect for that.
Dude, he nailed that.
Nailed it. And look how long. That's been a long time now. Fat Albert.
He
was very young.
He has a long movie list. Movie list.
Yes.
And then he had a lot of good television history even as a kid. He not just he was part of the sketch comedy show, I think All That and things like that, but he was part of a couple game shows too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like the Nickelodeon.
Right.
He worked a lot of Nickelodeon and
right.
Carol, he dropped out of the spotlight for a long time, but he was actually a voice actor.
Well, yeah,
on the Bit Reg Dog, I believe he was on that.
Yes, he was. Yes. And the thing is with Cal, by his own admission, he had some demons that he had to get through. And, hey, man, it's too bad because he most certainly is. I mean, come on, that good burger.
Yeah, he was the
he
character.
Murdered it.
Yeah, he killed it.
He murdered it, man.
Yep.
And
he was like
an
early Chris Tucker almost.
Let me tell you something. Myself and Isham, we got to hang out with him once in Hollywood. And let me tell you something about that cat. Down to earth. So down to earth. And, I'm like, when I met him, the first thing I'm thinking is, man, he's going to be a dick. He's going to be a jerk. And let me tell you something. He showed love. Now, let me say this real quickly. Just recently, a couple days ago, I want to share this with you guys. And because I'm most certainly going to live by it. The guy who played Fez on that 70s show.
Yeah.
Wilmer Valderrama.
Valderrama, yep.
He does a podcast. And they say to him, one of his co-hosts, says, bro, why the fuck are you so good to your fans? And he said, years ago, I met, I think it was Robert De Niro. And Robert De Niro said, listen, you're going to be famous. You are going to be famous. And he said, let me tell you something. The average fan is going to get 2 to 3 minutes of your lifetime in their hands. Make it matter to them. Make that 2 to 3 minutes matter. And he said from that moment on, he never walked away from an autograph. He never did not stop for pictures. He's like, if this is what they're getting out of the 2 to 3 minutes of their life with me, I owe it to them, man. And I was like, you know what? I most certainly will always live by that motto because you know what? These are the people that made you. And you know what? Think about it. If you're a dick to them, man, that'll ruin their lives.
Right.
Because, man, they were such a fan. He said it. He said it takes 2 to 3 minutes to change somebody's life. You can be a jerk or just stop for the couple minutes. It's not, it's not killing anyone. And I love that. And I love that. And kudos to my man out there. Hopefully he gets some more work because he's a really good actor.
Really is.
I love
really
him.
is.
Yes. Now, back to the stories here on Wrestling Real Talk, which used to be Wrestling Real Talk, but now it is Real Talk. And the thing is that everyone keeps saying, thank you for keeping wrestling a part of it. Of course, this is what we do. We do wrestling shows. Wrestling will always be in our DNA, no matter what, even though there was a guy accused at this very table here of not being a true wrestling fan, man.
Well, I think being a fan of anything's in the eye of the beholder, and I don't think anyone can tell you what you are.
Indeed. And let me tell you something. No one should tell you who you are. No one should ever tell you who you are. You have rights. Always know your rights, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, the world would run so much smoother if we just went by our rights and did it the correct way. Anyways, I'm not going to get all in, philosophical. I'm not going to get all like that. Yeah, that's me trying to use big words. Yes, I'm still that Vato from Southwest Detroit. Anyways, man, thank you guys for joining us right here on Real Talk, man. It's been a fun journey. It's been a whole lot of jumping here and jumping there, but we hope that we entertained you. And that's most important right here on Real Talk. And with that being said, I'd like to say good night, goodbye, see you when I see you. And most certainly, A.T. Huck, tell them what you want to say.
Hey, once again, thank you for tuning in. Like Rudy said, we've been all over the place on tonight's show. But that's a good thing. It's always off the top of our head what we're talking about. We don't write it down. We don't discuss it beforehand. But it always turns out swell in my opinion. We'll be back next time with a whole lot to talk about, I'm sure. I'm going to think about some of the questions that were asked earlier because I didn't answer them. But I'm going to come back to them, on the next show.
All right. There you heard it right there. A.T. Huck. Bobby Roxxx, anybody you'd like to say goodbye to or just hello to?
Hey, I've been trying to say goodbye to a few people for years, and they just don't take the hint. But, anyway.
Been there, done that.
I'll slip in my happy gathering memory of being on stage with Sir Mix-a-Lot. Thank you, Rudy, for making that happen.
Indeed.
That was mind-blowing. And just to touch on it earlier, with someone like Morris Day or Sir Mix-a-Lot or Ice Cube, these legends are like composers, and you put them in front of any group of people, and they will play the audience like it's music.
Agreed. Thank you for your contribution to today's program, both of you gentlemen. You guys are great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for cruising with us. You could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to roll with us, and that is a big fucking deal to me. I got to tell you this personally. But with that being said, you know how we do it, man. There's just one motto that we stand by. And by the way, it wouldn't be so bad if you stood and rose when you said these very words. We are not here for a long time. No, we are not. But we are here for a good time. Be good to one another. Take care of one another. Always praise God above.
Peace.